Hello everyone, students, welcome back to your physics class. In this video, we are going to discuss new topic, Newton's laws of motion. Students, you have already read in class 9th Newton's laws of motion. There I think you have learned first law, second law, third law, the derivation of second law and third law, action, reaction. Okay, so today I am going through a quick revision of these Newton's laws of motion. So students, let's get started. We'll start with Newton's first law of motion. So Newton's first law of motion. Newton's first law. So students, what is Newton's first law? Newton's first law states that every body continues in a state of rest or in uniform motion in a straight line unless acting upon by any force. Every body continues in a state of rest or in uniform motion in a straight line, unless an external force acts upon it. If force absent, then if a body is in rest, it remain in rest. If a body in motion with constant velocity, it will remain in motion unless an external force acted upon it. If there is a force of friction occurs, then a moving body can be stopped, or if a body is in rest, if you push it or pull it, then what happens? Then the body will move, so it will change its state. So if the force is absent, then the body remain in state. This is the first law. From this first law, what we have got? We got two things. Number one, inertia, and number two, definition of force. Students, what is called inertia? Inertia means the inability. Inertia means is the inability to change its state. Inability to change its state. Inability to change its state of a body. Inertia of a body is the inability to change its state. Means if the body is in rest, it remain in rest. Okay, inability to change its state. Okay, if a body is in motion, it remain in motion, so it retain its state. This inability is the property. This is the internal property of that body. This is called inertia. So from inertia, inertia actually mass measures the inertia. Mass measures the inertia. Mass actually measures the inertia. More mass, more inertia. More mass, more inertia. More mass, more inertia. Means a heavy body has higher inability to change its state, or a lighter body. You can easily move bicycle rather than a scooter or heavy bike. So from this inertia means is the inability to change its state. Actually mass measures the inertia. More mass, more inertia. Inertia two types. Number one, inertia of rest and inertia of motion. Inertia of rest, inertia of motion, you know that we have already done in your 9th class. So next we have definition of force. So students, from first law we know about what is called inertia and the definition force. Next question, what is called force? Force means is the physical cause. Force means is the physical cause by which it can change the state of a body. So it's a physical cause by which it can change the state, or tends to change the state of a body. So force, the unit of force are two types. Number one is called absolute unit. Number one absolute unit, number two gravitational. In absolute unit, SI unit Newton, and SI Newton, and CGS dyne. This is the absolute unit. Gravitational unit KGF and GF. kgf and gf. Okay, and inertia means mass, so kg and gram. Inertia means more mass, more inertia. So inertia is the property, it's the internal property to it opposes to change its state. This is called the inertia. Inertia, two type: inertia of rest, inertia of motion. Definition of force means a physical cause by which we can change the state of a body. Either it is in rest, we can change its state, rest to motion, or tends to change its state. Okay, so this is all about Newton's first law. Next, Newton's second law of motion. Okay, Newton's second law of motion. Before we start Newton's second law of motion, first of all we have to know what is called momentum. Momentum, denoted by small p. Momentum means P means mass into velocity. The product of mass and velocity. Say with me. The product of mass and velocity. The product of mass and velocity is called momentum. The product of mass and velocity is called momentum. The product of mass and velocity is called momentum. SI unit kg meter per second. Okay. Next we have Newton's second law. Newton's second law. What you have got from second law? First one, what is called momentum, and number two, the measurement of force. Measurement of force. So you know second law tells us what is called second law. Second law of motion means the force is directly proportional to rate of change of momentum. Rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to force applied on it. Say with me, rate of change of momentum. The rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the applied force. See, this is the change of momentum by time. So rate of change of momentum by time. Change of momentum by time means rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the applied force. So we can write F equal to some constant into del P by del T. This K is called constant. You may think constant equal to 1. So we can write F equal to dp dt or delta P by delta T. Same thing. Delta means change of momentum. Delta T means the time interval. Delta P means change of momentum. Delta T means interval, time interval. Force equal to dp dt. This is the Newton's second law of motion. And another line you have to introduce it. That is, the change of momentum takes place in the direction of force. Change of momentum takes place in the direction of force. So F equal to dp dt. So if you put the value F equal to delta P by delta T. Delta T means rate of. Delta T means rate of. So delta P means delta mass into velocity, or you can write dmv by dt. So mass is constant. Bring it outside, dv by dt. You know dv dt means how, what? Acceleration means dv dt. Yes sir, we know. Acceleration means dv dt. So put the value F equal to ma. Force equal to ma. Force equal to ma. Mass into acceleration. Mass into acceleration. Force equal to this. So we can measure, means the value of force. Value of force we get from the Newton's second law, and the definition of force from first law. So you know student, Newton's second law is also called the basic law or most fundamental law. Fundamental or basic law, because from second law we can derive the first law and we can derive the third law. So from this law we can derive the first law and the third law. So that's why Newton's second law is called the most basic law or the fundamental law. Next we have, sir, copy. Student, copy. Pause the video and copy. Done. Next, what is called impulse? Right, impulse. Impulse. Students, see, we have two things. Number one, impulse, and number two, impulsive force. Impulse. Impulse means what? If the force is variable 1, then we can find impulse. Impulse means J. So what is called impulse? The average force, the product of average force and time interval. the product of average force and time interval. The product of average force and time. The product of average force and time interval is called impulse. Okay, so the product of average force and time interval. So J is equal to product of average force F average into delta T. Okay, so we can put integration over 0 to T. Product of average force into delta T, time interval. Example of impulse to hit a ball with a cricket bat or hammer something. Okay, this is called the product of average force into delta time. Now you know F equal to how much? F equal to delta P by delta T. So delta P is equal to force into delta T. It means F into dt means this is means J delta J. What J? J means impulse. Am I right? So impulse J equal to delta P means change of momentum. Unit is kg meter per second. So students, what is called impulse? Impulse means change of momentum. 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 Unit is kg meter per second. Product of average force and time interval. But sometimes we can divide. We can use another term. That is called impulsive force. Impulsive force. Impulsive force means it's a dimension of force. Suppose you hammering something, it means total you given a huge amount of force within very small interval of time. Huge amount of force, very small interval of time. So if delta T is tends to 0, then the force is the main domain factor. So force, actually huge force acting upon it. Then this is called the impulsive force. Okay, generally impulse means change of momentum. Okay, I think students you all understood. So there is a two term, impulse and impulsive force. Okay, impulse means change of momentum. Impulsive force means force, dimension of force. This is a dimension of momentum. Impulse means the dimension of momentum, and impulsive force means is a dimension of force, whose unit is Newton. Next students, very famous, Newton's third law of motion. Newton's third law of motion. Newton's third law. Newton's third law. Newton's third law means if there is a two body, suppose M1 and M2 impact each other, then F12 and F21, two forces there comes into play. There is a two type of force. Number one is called action, and if there is an action present there, another force must be present, which is called the reaction, because forces always act in pairs. So F12 equal to F21. F12 means force on 1 due to 2. F12 means force on 1 due to 2. Force 21 means F on 2 due to 1. F on 2 due to 1. F on 2, force on 2 due to 1. So from Third's law, every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. So equal for equal, we can write F21, and for opposite, that's why we put minus. F12 equal to minus F21. Every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Equal means F12 equal to F21. Minus means opposite reaction. So F12 equal to minus F21. Now, students, from third law, we can conclude, number one, forces always acts in pair. Okay, single force does not exist. Single force does not exist. It always acts in pairs. ঠিক আছে? Pairs. It always acts in pairs. Single force does not exist, always acts in pairs. Number two, if there is it means if there is an action, there must be a reaction force. Okay, so action and reaction equal and opposite. Okay, so action and reaction equal and opposite. And it never acts on the same body. It never acts on same body. Okay, if you put action on a body, then that body will get back to you with the reaction force to another body. So the action and reaction always exist in pair, and action and reaction has equal and opposite, and it never acts on the same body. Okay. Now students, in class 11 there is a very important question, and the question is write state question. Very important question, very important. State and prove conservation of linear momentum from third law. Yes students, state and prove conservation of linear momentum from third law of motion. First one is state the conservation law. So conservation of linear momentum means the total linear momentum. Write down total linear momentum. Total linear momentum of a system remain constant if no force acts on it. If no force act, underline it. If no force act, if you ignore this word, then the answer you will get 0 marks. Okay, so total linear momentum of a system means an isolated system. For an isolated system, total linear momentum is conserved or constant. Total linear momentum is constant or conserved. Students, for two body system, we have seen F12 is equal to minus F21, because you have to prove the new. This is a statement of conservation of linear momentum. Now we are going to prove the conservation of linear momentum. So from Newton's third law. So according to Newton's third law, F1 equal to F21. Now multiply both sides by delta t. So delta t, F12 into delta t is equal to minus F21 into delta t. So you know student, delta p by delta t as delta f. So delta p is equal to f into delta t. Okay. Change of momentum equal to f into delta t. So put the value here. So this is for the first body. So we can write delta p1. Okay, delta p1 is equal to minus delta p2. Delta p2, bring it in this side. So delta p1 plus p2 is equal to 0. First copy up to this portion. Pause the video and copy up to this portion. And now please listen. Delta of something is equal to 0. Okay. Delta of something is equal to 0. Delta means change of something is 0. Change of something is 0 means change will not occur. Change of something is 0 means change will not occur. It means it remains same. It remains constant. Oh, it remains constant. It remains P1 plus P2 is constant. It remains constant. No change. So proved. So net momentum always conserve. Net momentum or total momentum of an isolated system remain constant or conserve. So this is very important question for class 11. Number 1 statement. Here the marking will be number 1, and for this part 2 marks allotted. Okay, so F12 equal to F21, this for the third law, because you have to prove this with the help of Newton's third law. So Newton's third law tells us F1 equal to minus F21 multiplied by delta t. Delta t of F means momentum, force into time means change of momentum, force into time means change of momentum. So this is for the first body, this is for the second body. Put a P1 for the first body, here second body. Now bring to the left side, delta common P1 plus P2 equal to 0. Something change equal to 0 means change will not occur, it remains same. So this is the constant value, so the momentum remains constant. Students, please follow the second video, means the next video. In that video I am going to discuss the numericals regarding conservation of linear momentum principle of linear momentum. Okay, so please follow the next video. Thank you, students.